All right, it's Pat back here with episode 3 of my Orioles Rebuild on Out of the Park 21. Doing a little request episode tonight from one of my 10 subscribers on YouTube. Requested just kind of take a little look through the minor league system of what each team looks like. And so I'm going to do that. So this isn't actually like, results with the major league team or anything. So if that's what you're here for, you can skip this episode. But I'm going to go through just their starting lineups and rotations and kind of who's where. And then another request from a faithful subscriber is to broadcast opening day. So this game, there's not actual like gameplay like MLB The Show where you have a controller and all that, but you can watch kind of a simulation of it with pretty poor graphics, and it gives you text play-by-play of what's going on. I imagine it's incredibly boring to just watch it happen. I've actually never played the game that way. I don't do the in-game management. I let my manager do it. I do all the general manager stuff. So I'm thinking of doing that, possibly coming up on broadcasting live. I just need to make sure that I know how to do that. But I'm going to tentatively do opening day on Saturday the 28th at 3:05 p.m. I was supposed to be seeing Pearl Jam that day in Baltimore, but maybe we'll do this instead. All right, so let's run through these minor league teams. Some of the stuff that you're seeing has been addressed on different episodes, such as some guys aren't on the 40-man that are in real life. That's a thing with the game that I chose to leave as is because I didn't feel like going through every single team and making their 40-man correct. So if you see things like that. And then other guys that I've traded for, the second episode had most of those trades. I'm just going to go through all the lineups first, and then I'll go back and go through all the pitching. I'll just go through the starters. In Norfolk, I have a bunch of kind of veteran catchers that are good defensively. Looks like Brian Holiday is going to get, and Taylor Davis are going to get most of the starts. First base, I have Abraham Toro. He, of course, came over in the Trey Mancini trade, was one of the main guys they got back, and he's a first and third baseman. So I've got him forced to play at first base so he can get that rating up. Second base, I have Rylan Bannon, a player actually in the Orioles farm system. He came over in the Manny Machado trade in real life. I will probably look to get his defensive ratings up because based off of his range and arm, he can probably be a better fielder than that. Ryan Mountcastle, I'm going to try him out at third base, just see how it goes. Might be a disaster, but if I can get that rating up to like a 45 or 50 so he could at least be adequate there, that would be cool. Just as kind of like a backup versatility thing. Who's this guy? Malquin Canelo. Really good defensive shortstop, which I always like to have. That helps. In real life, the O's signed him over the winter in 2019. And then the outfield, I addressed why all these guys are down in a different episode. Mullins, Diaz, Hayes. They are all, I have them all working on their defensive positioning, defensive ratings down there. So I'm looking to get their outfield ratings way up instead of playing up with a major league team where I don't really need them yet. Just trying to get them to be really good fielders. And then I've got Andrew Velasquez. Why can I say that? Velasquez? I've said that last name a million times in my life and I can't say it right now. Anyways, he looks like a career minor leaguer. He's just kind of bounced around. The O's claimed him off of waivers about a month ago in real life. So that's the Norfolk lineup. And then, there are other guys like Mason McCoy is a former high draft pick, I think like second rounder a couple of years ago. But I'm not going to get that into the weeds on this. All right, Bowie. So Bret Cumberland is a catcher who came over, I believe, in the Gossman and O'Day trade to the Braves. Yeah, in real life in 2018 at the deadline. In last year's version, I played through, and he became a pretty good hitter at the major league level. We'll see if that happens this year. He's not really good enough defensively unless he improves that I see him as a long-term piece. So if he does become a usable major league piece, I will move him out. And then JC Encarnacion, again, another guy, as you can see here, came over in that trade that sent Gossman and O'Day to the Braves in real life. I'm not sure how this I and avoid Ks are going to work out for him at the AA level, but we'll see. We've got Richard Urena. He's a utility player who's with the O's in real life. claimed off of waivers back in January. I think he's on the 40-man in real life, but he's not here. Yes, and then we've got Cole Freeman, who we're all familiar with from the Michael Givens trade. What's the main piece I brought back in the Givens trade? I've got him playing at third base to try to make him a better third baseman. With these kind of defensive ratings, he should be able to become a decent third baseman. He might even be able to become an okay shortstop with those ratings. His range, his arm's not great, but so I've got him working on his third base. Let's see. I'm not sure who this shortstop is. Angelo Mora. He's a 27-year-old. He's not even that good. The O's signed him back in November 2019. He's just kind of filler. Rodrigo Orozco is a guy that I signed as a minor league free agent just on March 17th, so a few days ago, and he's slotting in to play left field in Double A. He's 24. We'll see what happens. Ryan McKenna, he's going to repeat Bowie for me. He had a pretty okay season in Bowie last year, but I'm going to force play him at center field to work on this center field rating because with this range, he should be able to be a better center fielder than a 50, and my Norfolk outfield is so crazy crowded. And then old friend Chas McCormick came over in the Michael Givens deal a week ago. Or no, I'm sorry, the Mancini deal from Houston a week ago. In real life, he split 2019 between AA and AAA and actually was pretty good at both levels, but just with how crowded my AAA outfield is, this is where I have him. And then we've got Isaac Gilliam, and he came over in the trade with the Yankees, which was Hanser Alberto, who I traded to them. So he's DHing for now. So that's that squad. Let's see, just make sure there's nobody else real noteworthy there. No, okay. Frederick, here we go. We've got some hopefully future pieces of Frederick. Obviously, led by Adley Rutschman, catcher. Like I said in a previous episode, planning to keep him down for probably 2 years. So maybe half the season at Frederick, then half the season at Bowie if he's doing well, and then next year at AAA. I might even play him at first base some to get that rating up. He does not have very good infield ratings here. He actually has better ratings as an outfielder. So I might play him at first some just to make him adequate there. Don't know who this dude is. JC Escarra. He played for the O's in Frederick in real life last year and actually was okay. He was a 15th round pick in 2017. Adam Hall. Adam Hall was an early pick for the O's in what year? Oh, second round of 2017, and he actually ripped it up at Delmarva last year. Put up 4.4 WAR, OPS of 780. Okay. So he's a really good shortstop, but I've got him working on second base. Hopefully they get that up. So I'm going to keep him down to work on the defensive rating. He's also only 20, so I'm not in a rush. And then we've got Oscar Olivares, who was in rookie ball for the O's in last year in real life, international free agent from 2017. We've got at shortstop Caden Grenier. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not totally sure. I've got him working on a shortstop rating. He was a first-round pick of the O's, I think a supplemental first-round pick in 2018. So I'm going to have him try to get his shortstop up some, and then with these defensive ratings, I'm going to play him all around the infield. And, maybe he can get his bat good enough that he can be like a utility guy in a few years. Left field, Johnny Reiser, 7th round pick in 2019. He played in Delmarva last year a little bit after he was drafted. And then we all know Kyle Isbell. Of course we do. He came over in the deal that I made with the Royals. That I sent Jose Iglesias away. So I've got him playing center field to try to work on this rating to get it up even higher, and then I'll probably shift him to right so he can just be an awesome outfielder at all three positions. Who's this guy? Robert Newstrom. Newstrom was a 5th round pick in 2018. All right. And then we've got Willie Yon. Willie Yon was a 25th round pick in 2017, so he'll do the DHing. Ryan Ripken is at this level. Gene Carmona, who came over, I believe, in the Gossman trade, is down there. So that's Frederick. Delmarva. We've got Ben Brizel at catcher. He was a 7th round pick in 2017. Okay, defensive catcher. we'll see what happens. He's 25, so and playing an A-ball. Andrew Dashbach, first baseman. He was an 11th round pick for the O's in 2019. He's 22 years old. We'll see how he does. Nelson Molina. He was a free agent that I signed, actually. And he's played as high as AAA, but as you can see by his OPS here, his WAR, never really done much. Hopefully he can just be a decent fielder, second base, third base. And I don't know, my scout thinks he's okay, an okay hitter. OSA thinks about the same. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll do okay. We've got Joseph Ortiz at third base, who was a 4th round pick in real life in 2019. Clay Fisher was a 12th round pick in 2018. He'll play shortstop. And we've got Lamar Sparks. He was a draft pick at some point recently. Yeah, 5th round in 2017. I recognize that name. He's played in rookie ball last year in 2019 for the O's. This guy, Mason Hanvren, who knows? He played in Aberdeen last year in real life. He'll be a 14th rounder. Kyle Stowers. He was a real life pick recently. Yeah, 2nd round pick 2019. He's 22. Played in Aberdeen last year. We'll see how he does. And this is the weird thing. My number 1 starter is also my DH, Grayson Rodriguez. As you can see over here, he's not that good of a hitter. And I tried plugging in a few guys, and my manager just really wants to play Grayson Rodriguez there. So, hopefully he doesn't get hit by a pitch and break his pitching hand or some nonsense like that. All right, on to Aberdeen. It gets pretty skimpy here. There aren't a lot of guys, so I'll just kind of highlight the guys that I'm forcing position work at to get their defense up. Marcus Campos was a minor league free agent signing that I made. He's 23, doesn't really show a lot of potential with the bat, but with that avoid Ks and contact, maybe if he shows some progress, he can be a decent fielder. Probably nothing more than like high minors filler if he progresses. And then I've got Ricardo Venezuela. I've got him working on his center field because it looks like he could be a pretty good one. He was an international free agent with the Cubs, who was released after being with them since 2016, and I signed him. So he's a free agent in real life now, I assume. So that's kind of a quick overview of Aberdeen. And then the Catonsville Comets, whose logo I need to change. The headliner here is Gunnar Henderson, who I forced to play third base. He needs to work on his defense. So my scout thinks that he could really be a player, and OSA does too. And they also really like his work ethic, and he was a 2nd round pick in 2019. And he's 18 years old, so he's a ways away, but man, he looks like he could be really good. And it looks like he'll be able to turn into a decent defensive player. So he's the highlight in Catonsville. And then my 2 rookie ball teams don't really have many people on them yet because I'll fill them with the draft. There's not a lot going on there. So I'm going to hop back up to Norfolk and go down my pitching, just my rotation and any bullpen highlights. We got Dean Kramer. Kramer came over in the Machado trade in real life. Brandon Bilek, I'll click on them so you can kind of see their attributes real quick. He came over in the Mancini trade to Houston. Bruce Zimmerman came over in 2018 to the O's in the Gossman trade from the Braves. And then Dylan Tate, the O's got from the Yankees in the Britton trade. He's on the 40-man in real life, I believe, still. He looks like he might be, decent back-end filler in the rotation here during the rebuild. And then this guy, I don't even know who he is. Rob Zastrany. The O's signed him to a minor league deal in November, it looks like. Just kind of filler. And then I went over these guys earlier. Stefan is the guy I got from the Yankees in the Alberto trade. I got Herman from the Nationals in the Givens trade. Wyatt Short came over from the Cubs in the Francisco trade. And then some other names that people probably know. Luis Ortiz, Cody Carroll, Alex Wells, David Hess, a bunch of guys. One thing that's weird is Keegan Aiken is a lefty specialist instead of being in my rotation. I'd like him in the rotation over this guy. But I just let my minor league managers make those decisions. And, hopefully Aiken will pitch well enough. But also I have 22 pitchers here to cover for injuries and also to cover for when I'm calling guys up because of injuries at the big league level. So I am sure Aiken will get, more time, more action than just a specialist as the season goes on. This rotation is great. This Bowie rotation. Corey Abbott was the main guy I got back for Chance Cisco. I really like him. I did one thing I don't know why I didn't notice on the trading form. He's a fly ball pitcher, which in Camden Yards I don't love, but with his potential, he might be able to overcome that. And he had a great year at AAA last year. Double A last year. And I could bump him up, but Norfolk's kind of crowded. I know he'll be the number one starter here. He'll get lots of work, and I'll move him up pretty quickly if he's doing well. DL Hall, one of those top prospects in real life. I believe he's my number 2 pitching prospect, and Abbott's actually my number 3. He's 21. Had a good year in A-ball for the O's last year, and he'll start in Bowie. Kyle Bradish, he came over to the Orioles when they traded Dylan Bundy back in December. He's never pitched above high A. Man, that curveball looks like it could become pretty good. Brandon Hanafy, he was a draft pick for the O's, I think. Yeah, 4th round, 2016. He pitched in Frederick last year. Gray Fenter, who absolutely dominated in Delmarva last year. 11.7 strikeouts per 9, 2.9 WAR, a 1.81 ERA. And the O's got him in the 7th round of 2015. So we'll see what Mr. Fenter can do. He's 24. Romero, he'll be a setup guy. He came over from the Nationals in the Givens trade. Felix Bautista looks like he could be okay if he could get his control a little better. The O's signed him back in 2016. And he's 24. All right, see what happens with him. All right, Frederick. We have Drew Rom. He's only 20. He pitched in Delmarva last year. He was a 4th round pick in 2018. We've got Adrian Navas. I signed him. I don't know. He looks like he's kind of decent. He was sitting out there. We'll see what happens. Looks like, he's 23. Yeah. Dylan McCullough. He came to the O's 2019, 27th round pick. Pitched in rookie ball last year. Got Zach Peak. He doesn't have any professional. Oh, so he was drafted in 2019 out of Winthrop University in the 6th round by the Angels. And then the O's got him in the Bundy trade. Gotcha. I don't realize they got somebody who was a 6th round pick. Cool. Okay. Ryan Conroy. Conroy pitched at Frederick a little bit last year, but mainly in Aberdeen. And he was an 8th round pick in 2018. And then my closer is Brigham Hill. He's probably a starter. He's going to close here. He came over in the Givens trade from the Nationals. And then, Brian Gonzalez was a high-round draft pick a few years ago. All right, that's that squad. Delmarva, we've got number 1 pitching prospect, Grayson Rodriguez. He did pitch in Delmarva last year in real life and was awesome, but just because of his age, I'd like to see his control get a little higher. If he tears it up, I'll obviously promote him, but I just don't want to push him too soon, too fast. We're not in any rush here. Blaine Knight, another guy who pitched an A-ball last year, and I'm having to repeat it because he was pretty bad. He was a 3rd round pick in 2018 for the O's. Peralta, he's been with the O's forever because he's international free agent in 2013. He's only 22, so he was 15 when he signed. Pendergrass, don't know this guy. Oh, 28th round in 2019. Gotcha. And he pitched in Aberdeen. It was as high as he got last year. And then Kevin McGee, I also don't know. 9th round pick, 2018. Okay, pitched in Aberdeen last year. He's our closer. Andrew Beckwith, he came over from Kansas City in that Iglesias trade. Yes, with Kyle Isbell. And he's pitched as high as AA, but I decided to get him here because he's going to be the closer. He'll get a lot more work. I don't know if he's ever going to be anything. Oh, he's a Submariner. Heck yeah. Throwing 87, 89 as a closer. Love it. So the only guy to note here really is Dallas Litcher, who I don't see as that noteworthy. He's a 2018 10th round pick, but when I was looking around how to complete deals, a lot of teams were interested in him, to the point where I was like, okay, maybe I'll hold on to him. Maybe my scout sees something they don't, but I might be making a mistake because a lot of teams were pretty interested in him, but he stays for now. Not too much interesting at the Aberdeen level. A bunch of dudes that I don't even really know. Who's this guy? Kyle Bronovich. Oh, he came over. Okay, he came over in the Bundy trade. He was an 8th round pick in 2019. Got it. Okay. And he doesn't have any professional ball experience according to this. He pitched in college though. So that's the Ironbirds. The Catonsville Comets. A couple of decent guys here. Jensen Elliot. He was a 19th round pick out of Oklahoma State, and he pitched in rookie ball, and he was pretty good. I mean, I don't know what his FIP was because that's not on this screen. You need to dig deeper for that. But a 1.4 ERA in 25 innings, and his first taste of professional ball. I'll take that. This guy whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce was a 6th round pick in 2018. He pitched in rookie ball last year and wasn't very good. Cesar Egomas is my closer, and he started in rookie ball last year for the O's and was pretty darn good. International free agent signing 2016. And again, same thing with the rookie ball. Not much, guys, going on down there. If you're wondering what's going on with the Catonsville Comets and Skanksville Orioles, I was explaining in a different episode of why I like 2 teams at each level, and I don't like the Dominican League teams. So I kind of restructured the minor leagues. So yeah, that's the O's kind of minor league overview for any 1 or 2 people that are interested in that. I'm just looking to see if anybody at like rookie ball is even in my top prospects. All right, so my 32nd ranked prospect is in rookie ball, Darrell Hernandez. So yeah, there's not really much of note down there. As you can see, my 58th ranked prospect, my 61st. So yeah, top 100 prospects in the organization. Kind of crazy that they have that amount of depth. And then you can also look at it here under player development, kind of around the diamond where guys fall, and then it lists top guys with like their overall ranking. So I've got 3 top 100 prospects. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to try to do that YouTube broadcast of opening day coming up on Saturday at 3:05. That's the plan. If not, I'll have a different update between now and then, but that'll probably be the next update. Any questions or any requests, please feel free to let me know, as this was a request episode, an overview of the minor league O's system. All right, until next time, this is GM Pat signing off.